During chemistry, our teacher rushed in soaked with sweat and blurted, "Does anyone here have a lawyer in the family?" Before anyone could react, Mr. Dalmar was yanking open his desk drawers, stuffing papers into a bag. The room went dead quiet. Someone in the back muttered that he'd finally lost it. He ignored them and scanned the room again. A lawyer? Anyone? I don't know why I spoke. "My uncle's a lawyer." His head snapped toward me. "You, come with me, now." I didn't move. "What? I can't just—" He was already at my desk, his hand on my shoulder. "I'll explain in the car. We have to go." Kids were laughing, filming. They thought it was a bit. He steered me toward the door, and I looked back at a room full of people recording and nobody moving. His car was already running in the lot, door open like he'd planned it. I barely clicked my seatbelt before he floored it. Through the back window, I saw them. 2 police cars pulling into the school entrance. He saw them too, and went rigid. "Get down, down, now." I ducked. He took sharp turns for a few minutes, then told me I could sit up. I tried the door. Locked. Child lock. He noticed. "Don't. I just need your help. Then you can go. I promise." "Sir, what is happening? Why were there police?" He didn't answer. Just told me to call my uncle. When I reached for my phone, he took it, dialed himself, and put it on speaker. My uncle picked up. "Hey, shouldn't you be in class?" Mr. Dalmar cut in, voice cracking. "Sir, I'm your nephew's teacher. I need a lawyer today. I'll pay anything, please." A pause. "Is he safe?" "He's fine. He's right here. I'm being accused of something I didn't do. Please, just tell me where you are." My uncle gave his office address, but insisted on talking to me first. I told him I was okay. He took a slow breath. "Just get here." 10 minutes later, we pulled up to a small building. Inside, Mr. Dalmar emptied his whole bag onto the desk. Files, a laptop, drives. "This is everything. My records, my alibi." "I didn't do this." My uncle started reading. I sat in the corner, unsure whether to stay. My uncle asked calm questions. "Who died? When? What's the connection?" Mr. Dalmar talked fast. "A couple. A diving accident over the summer. The man had been an instructor at the center. Police think the gear was tampered with." "Did you know them?" He hesitated. "She was my ex. That's why they're targeting me." My uncle flipped a page. "This report says you signed off on their equipment that day." Mr. Dalmar stopped pacing. "What? No. Let me see." My uncle didn't hand it over. "Your signature, both rigs. Then it's forged. Someone's framing me." My uncle looked at me. "The bathroom's down the hall." I got up, legs shaking. A moment later, he followed and pulled me into a side room. Voice barely a whisper. "Something isn't adding up. I've already texted for help. We need to leave." We moved toward the door, and Mr. Dalmar was standing right there, but his hands were empty. He was just crying. "You don't believe me either," he said, and slid down the wall to the floor. My uncle kept his voice steady. "I'm still your lawyer, but you need to tell me the truth." And Mr. Dalmar started talking. Not a confession to anything violent, but the whole sad shape of it, that he'd been scheduled that day, that he'd seen their engagement photos in June and felt like he'd been erased, that he'd requested the shift on purpose just to be near her one more time, and they hadn't even recognized him. "I signed off on their gear like I did for everyone, and then it failed, and now everyone thinks I wanted it to." He looked up, wrecked. "I didn't touch their equipment, but I wanted to be angry enough to, and I'll never know if that's why I missed something." That's when the police arrived. Not breaking down doors, just knocking, because my uncle had told them exactly where we were, and that everyone was safe. They took Mr. Dalmar in for questioning. And here's the thing. The forged signatures turned out to be real. Someone else's forgery. A maintenance supervisor at the center had been cutting corners for months and pinned the failure on the easiest possible target. The sad ex-boyfriend who'd requested the shift. Mr. Dalmar was cleared weeks later. He never taught again, though. As they'd walked him out that day, he'd stopped in front of me and asked quietly, "I was a good teacher, wasn't I?" And I told him the truth. "Yeah, you were," and I meant it. Sometimes the guiltiest looking person in the room is just the loneliest one, standing exactly where someone needed a body to point at.